All right, Tyler Perry fans, we are hopping on the boat of House of Payne, and we're going to talk about this week's upcoming episodes 5 and 6. Episode 5 is going to focus on, the sex talk between, Ella and Jasmine, and it's unknown whether or not Janine's going to jump into the conversation, but based on what we've seen from the episodes, I feel like it's safe to say the first 10 minutes or so I could see being strictly nothing but Jasmine and Ella sitting at the kitchen table at Ella and Curtis's house talking about the whole sex thing and whatnot. And then the second episode, episode 6, is going to focus on the whole situation with Calvin and apparently the return of Miranda. I say apparently because of the fact that last week's preview, or excuse me, the preview for last week's episode showed Miranda, but she wasn't in the episode. So I'm not going to say, well, then again, the preview shows Calvin talking with his parents, but who's to say that Calvin's in the episode? These trailers have been highly misleading. So really all I want to talk about in this video is people are saying a lot of things, Jasmine was the star of last week, and I'll do a video on that. But this video is going to focus on the Miranda and Calvin thing. Calvin's talking about how Miranda just keeps trying to take more and more from him in regards to, most likely going to divorce court, demanding more, probably like, alimony, that kind of stuff. So the question a lot of people are asking is, no, not a question. People are like, man, the House of Payne ain't good, but last week, Jasmine, I'm glad about that. But when Miranda shows up, yes. Not to sound negative, but at the same time, it's like, I don't see how she alone can save the show. A lot of people can't wait for the Miranda and Calvin drama to, reignite, probably breathe new life into the series because, and I'm going back to the live stream I did yesterday, but it's like, Malik, he's boring, he's not funny. And I'm like, well, I get the show is more of a sitcom, comedy driven thing with some drama, even in the midst of a dire situation. But the show knew back in the day when to be serious, when it needed to be without jokes. But I'm thinking, Malik, given his circumstances, would you be in a joking mood yourself? I mean, let's be real here. Like, there are some people like me in some circumstances where I joke to alleviate a serious situation. But if you just found out that, ooh, my girlfriend's pregnant, ooh, yeah, the one who's a stripper, I have no job or money, I'm still in college, I gotta tell my parents, and then I want to move in with them, I wouldn't be in a jokey joke mood myself. Then you had the situation where Curtis and Ella, some people don't like them because they don't feel like they're in character. But let me put it this way. The way that Ella and Curtis are presented now, I think they're more funny. They're funnier than they were in the Paynes. Now, I'm not saying I love them like I did in the original series, but I think their performance is better than how it was in the Paynes, most likely because there are more characters in the House of Payne. But even so, not all of them are in the same episodes. They're kind of scarce. But even though the Miranda and Calvin thing is interesting, I mean, episode synopsis for next week, not this week, but next week, show that, both of them might be rethinking whether or not they should have gotten a divorce. They might be getting back together. But remember, Calvin does have a girlfriend, Laura. So I don't know if they're together right now or if they'll be getting together later on in the season, but that is a thing based on synopsis and behind the scenes photos and stuff. But I don't think the Miranda and Calvin storyline alone can save the show. Sure, it might be intriguing to see them back, but here's the thing I want to bring up, guys. Look at Jasmine coming back was a big deal. People went nuts. I went on Twitter. I've been looking at YouTube comments and Instagram posts. People have been saying, yay, Jasmine's back. She was the star last week. She kept the show energized. But here's the thing, though. Even though Jasmine was back and it was great to see her, Jasmine was stuck in the quicksand that all the other characters were falling into. The repetitive, circling, boring dialogue. Like literally the first... Well, yeah, episode 4 was all Jasmine. She came in, talked with Janine. Ella came in and talked with her. Then they went over to the kitchen, and Janine came from the backyard because Ella let it slip about the whole situation involving Malik having the baby. That's right, because Jasmine thought Janine was pregnant. And then the conversation briefly shifted about her and the what's his name, Keith or something. I forgot his name. uh, the pastor's son. Yeah, I forgot his name, but basically potentially pressuring her into having sex or at least hinting towards it. So we didn't need to spend 20 some minutes on that. That was just boring. So even with the Miranda and Calvin thing, can you imagine what the conversation would be like? Imagine, because based on the preview, I know we're going to see Miranda, CJ, Jasmine, and Calvin in the same area. And it's going to be like, hi, Calvin. And Jasmine will be saying something smart every 2 seconds. Calvin will probably be staring Miranda down. Then we know Miranda's going to talk with Miss Ella. And then, basically I can see a scene which should be should be full of tension and emotion. It will be dragged out longer than it has to be. Now, again, I want to reiterate, I can't wait to see the dynamic between Miranda and Calvin post-divorce. But the problem is, if we're still going to be stuck in this dragged out, unfunny laugh track, oversaturation of laugh track scenes in the episode, I feel like it's going to kill the mood. I don't think the Miranda and Calvin thing is going to be enough to save the series if we're still going to be stuck on the, again, I will say it one more time. Well, you know what? I don't feel bad for repeating myself. The damn script does it all the time in these shows. More than enough laugh track. We don't need the laugh track in a serious moment like this. I bet Jasmine's going to say something smart every 2 minutes. Go back to the first couple episodes of the Paynes and you watch how Jasmine was acting, where she had something smart to say every 2 lines. I felt like Jasmine was given way too many sassy lines as there were laugh track overuses. I can see Curtis in the background. Yeah, if it isn't Curtis, it's Jasmine. And if Curtis and Jasmine are in the same scene, it's going to be dragged out with jokes. It's like there might be one. I feel like when it comes to, I feel like Jasmine and Curtis are the worst when it comes to this flaw in the House of Payne. And again, go back to the Paynes as well, where I feel like, it's a lot of ad-libbing, or Tyler Perry just says, hey, freestyle here. And they give about like 20 different jokes or zingers, one-liners, and maybe only 2 or 3 even hit target where I either legit laugh or, what is it, like you blow air out of your nostrils, like it was like it was funny, but not enough to make me go, So I feel like that's going to happen with, the Miranda and Calvin meeting, because once again, it's a big deal that these two will see each other again. The first time we'll see them see each other since, she walked out on him, and then that was the end of the final episode of season 8. Miranda never showed up in the Payne. She was mentioned in passing a couple times when Calvin was in the show during the first few episodes, but that was it. So to have Miranda come back, that's a moment that needs to be treated with reverence, because we do have this scene of Calvin on the couch talking with his parents, so that could be potential build-up for what's to come in, let's say, episode 7 or 8, because once again, I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket and assume she's going to appear in this week's episodes. So I don't think the Miranda Calvin thing is going to be enough to save the show, but I am interested to see what Tyler Perry is going to do with it. But once again, I'm praying like Ella here, that the show won't treat this serious moment like another joke, even though I am highly expecting them to, because once again, Miranda and Calvin see each other for the first time. Do you want that to be a moment that's dragged out longer than it's supposed to be? Do we need 20 or 30 Jasmine and or Curtis quips in the background when we just want to see these two interact, but we're going to have like 50 random ads of the laugh track? I mean, look at how long it took for Malik to tell his parents, he was having a baby, or, Lisa was pregnant. I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see, folks, because I'm pretty sure the episode will get ratings because Miranda's back. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, I'm recording this on Sunday. I don't know, this video is probably going to go up on Monday, but if it is Monday when I'm posting this, happy belated birthday, Tyler Perry. He turns 51 today, September 13th. He posted a photo. Looks like he's on a boat or a yacht or something. More power to him. He deserves the rest for working so hard. I just wish the product was better. But can't sit up here and say I wouldn't be here about him. So, shout out to Tyler Perry. And as always, make sure to like the video. I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but like the video. Let's try to get to 50 likes. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you're notified whenever I post new content. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And if you would like to donate to the channel, not mandatory but appreciated, feel free to do so on PayPal, Cash App, or join Patreon for as little as $1 a month.